The scene opens on a wild Tanner Daniels in his natural habitat.
Oh, he's feisty one he is. Look at him go. Oh.
Hey guys, thanks for joining us again. We're going to take a couple minutes here to talk about 5 basic things that every technician should know how to do. Starting with number 1, every technician should know how to wrap cables. Obviously, being a technician here, you're going to deal with tons of cables, from XLRs to 1/4 inch to Ethernet cables, power cables, DMX cables, all that stuff. Now, different cables needed to be treated differently. XLR cables are more fragile than, say, an Ethernet cable or a power cable. But if you're not sure what the cable it is, it's always a good idea to be super careful with it. So this is the correct way to wrap a cable. Here we have a speaker cable, definitely a little hardier than an XLR cable or maybe like a thin 1/4 inch. All the same, we're gonna wrap it correctly. So we use the stack kind of method. So basically the big thing is to grab it in each hand, and as you wrap it, you're twisting with this hand. And if you see, it coils up perfectly. So I'm twisting the cable as I'm bringing it into the loop. Now, sometimes if a cable is super, super long, you can only wrap it so many times one direction before the whole thing starts coiling up on the back side. So it's fine to go the opposite direction and wrap underneath. So if you're watching here, I'll go one way like this, and then wrap underneath the opposite way. And all I'm doing is twisting in opposite directions. So this time I'm twisting clockwise, this time I'm twisting counterclockwise. It's that simple. So I hope that's of help to you. Be sure to be using this with all of our cables, XLR, 1/4 inch, all that stuff. Number 2, basic stage directions. So this kind of thing gets confusing. You can be on the stage, someone can be say, hey, grab this light or move this mic stand over there. It's difficult to understand sometimes. So there are 4 main stage directions. They are upstage, downstage, stage right, and stage left. Now, instead of saying backstage or further down or whatever, when you're referring to the vertical movement on the stage, back towards the back of the stage will be upstage. Towards the front of the stage is downstage. Now the reason they do that is there's a few reasons for that. First off, back in the day, Shakespeare's day, the stages were literally angled at like a 40-degree angle. So as you traveled backward, you were literally traveling up, like upstage. And as you were coming towards the skirt of the stage, you were literally moving in a downward motion. So we still use those because upstage doesn't get confused with backstage. Backstage is kind of like where people are unseen and that kind of thing. Now, the horizontal movement that happens right and left, you want to make sure to use the actor's or the musician's orientation for that. So if I'm standing on the stage looking out, my left is stage left. So you're looking at the stage from the booth, right to you is actually stage left. So if I wanted someone that was standing on the stage to move a mic stand further to their left, I would tell them to move it to stage left, which is to my right. So it gets kind of confusing. If you need me to explain a little more, I'd be happy to do that. Number 3, this is huge. We need to label and organize things efficiently and often, okay? So we run so many cables. We use all kinds of snakes. Things change constantly. It's hard to stay on top of that unless we're labeling and organizing. If you're using a snake, if you're putting a snake together, make sure to label all the ends of it. Take one XLR before you put it in the snake, label the input end, label the output end, all of that. Be labeling your channel strips so that if you die in some freak accident and someone has to run sound for you, they can easily step in and the channel strips are labeled, etc. So we're going to talk a little more specifically about protocol with that in a later video. But as a general rule, be more organized. It's helping everybody out. Number 4, this is a huge one, learn constantly. Nobody knows everything. I don't know everything. Alex doesn't know everything. Josh doesn't know everything. Bobby doesn't know everything. I'm pretty sure God's about the only one that knows everything when it comes to audio, video stuff. So be open to suggestion. Be open to experimentation. There's so many wonderful things that have come just from trying things that might not be normal. Now, I'm not saying do that on a chapel or do that on a large profile event, but do that in rehearsal when you have free time, etc. And always be looking for new ways to learn. YouTube is like a treasure chest of how-to videos. Wikipedia has all kinds of things, and obviously there are false things out there, but you can still learn from messing up, so give them a try. Now the last thing we want to say is number 5, have a servant's heart. We've been talking about this from the beginning, and there are going to be all kinds of situations that come up where people are tense and things are going to be rough, and you have a decision to make. You can either do the thing that's easy and maybe get upset at someone and say, all right, just let me do this because you're incapable, or whatever that is. Or there's the hard way to do things that might be to humble yourself and really serve that person in the time by teaching them or letting them mess up. There's something along the lines of that, and that's okay. We care more about personal relationships. We care more about people's growth spiritually than we care about things being perfect. Now, don't get me wrong. We want it to be good. We definitely want it to be good, but not if we have to sacrifice relationships. And so keep that in mind. Some people are really awesome around here by using the phrase, how can I serve you? And it sounds kind of awkward. It's becoming like our Chick-fil-A, my pleasure type thing, but that's okay. So make sure to use that phrase here and there. Be a servant. So those are 5 quick tips that you can use around here to be a better technician. Looking forward to seeing you employ all of those. As always, if you guys have any questions, shoot me an email at tanner.daniels@ccuuniversity.edu. Peace out.
Oh, he's a feisty one, he is.